This is one of the most important aspects of worship music. Understanding this is something that most people don't do. They don't bother thinking about this. And I think that it's, like I said, I think this is the most important thing in the world when it comes to churches with volunteer musicians across the world playing other people's songs, and paying licenses to play those songs in their churches. So we need to understand the difference between a song and a track, and that's because there is a difference. Maybe we'll start by talking about what is a track. A track is a recording, and we play with tracks here, and we kind of have done away with the full, synth tracks and piano tracks and bass tracks and guitar tracks and all that. We used to have all that as well, but recently we've cut all that out and we've just gone to a click track and a guide track and a track that MIDI controls the slides so that it changes slides for the songs. Those are the only tracks that we run here anymore. So when we're thinking about what is a track and we're trying to understand it, well, think about what is a track when it's coming through your ears on Sunday morning and you are conducting worship. A track is a pre-recorded thing. It's a pre-recorded guitar. It's a pre-recorded bass. It's a pre-recorded drum set. It's a pre-recorded lead vocal. Track equals recording. Think of it that way. Now, what does a song have to do with that? If the track is just the recording of that song, then how do we define what the song is? Where does the song start and end? And where does the track start and end? How do they connect with each other? Well, you can't have a track, you can't have a recording without a song. You have to have some material to record. So that makes sense. What material do we have to have in order for it to constitute a song then? All praise and worship songs have a melody. All praise and worship songs have a lyric. That's what a song is. So once you record that melody and that lyric, you've got a track. Once you've got that, then you can start to add things. So in the studio, they might add a drum set next. They might add an acoustic guitar or a piano. They just start adding instruments one by one. And what they're doing is they're adding stuff to the song. They're adding on instrumentation. They're adding on tracks. Now, let's think of it the other way. Let's think about taking things away. And we'll take things away until we don't have the song anymore. Okay, so let's take away our drum track. Do we still have the song? Yes, because the melody and the lyric are still there. Let's take away all of the synthesizers. Do we still have the song? Yes. Let's take away the guitars, the electric guitars. Yes, we still have the song. Let's take away everything except for, say, an acoustic guitar. So at this point, all we have left is an acoustic guitar and a vocalist, the lead vocalist, giving the melody and the lyric. Do we still have a song? Yes. Now, if we take away the acoustic guitar, that is when it starts to get hard, right? Because what is the acoustic guitar there to do? Now we can talk about what does a song need in order for us to play it in church as volunteers. Okay. Well, we don't need tracks. That's for sure. We don't need, we don't need a full orchestra track, with 100 violins in our Sunday morning church with 150 congregation members. We don't need that. So we don't need any of the tracks. We do need the song, right? So we need the lyric and the melody. Now, what is the minimum number of instrumentation that we need for that song to exist? And go back to the Stuff You Needed to Know video where I talked about the instrument roles. That's what this video is a companion to. What are the two leadership roles? There's the lead singer and the lead instrument. So what does that lead instrument need to do? The lead instrument needs to do a couple of different things. So say for the acoustic guitar, for instance, your melody of your lyric, your lead singer is singing a melody, and say it's just quarter notes in the chorus, and that's all. It's in 4/4 time. Your lead melody is quarter notes only, and every single quarter note is a new word in the lyric. The acoustic guitar probably isn't just going to play quarter note strums behind it, right? There's probably going to be a strumming pattern there. But the strumming pattern is going to emphasize the 4 beats of the 4/4 time signature. And whether that's using 16th notes or dotted notes or eighth notes or whole notes or any combination of rhythmic note values in a strumming pattern, there's lots of possibilities there. But that's what the acoustic guitar is doing for the rhythm. The context of what is a song is a melody and a lyric. Stop. That's it. Doesn't have anything to do. And I mentioned rhythm as kind of being a component of it. Not really. It doesn't really have an effect on what the song is. All rhythm does is gives the song structure. And if you come up with a unique rhythm for your melody, then it can even make it more recognizable, instantly recognizable for the congregation, and they know what song you're singing right away, and they can start singing along right away. So that's the component that rhythm plays. But that's what the song is. It doesn't have anything to do with anything other than that melody and that lyric. Right. And then the lead instrument is the only other piece that we need. Right? Need. Need is a strong word. I'm using it as a strong word there. That is the only thing that you need. A lead instrument and the lead melody. And the lead singer. And what does that lead instrument do? It provides rhythm. It provides rhythmic support. It provides rhythmic embellishment, say with an acoustic guitar and the strumming pattern, or on a piano and a particular arpeggiated pattern, a particular rhythm in the arpeggio. And it's providing the harmonic support for the melodic line to sit within, because the melody and the harmony exist within the same scale, the same major scale. Okay, right. Now we can kind of start to add things back again, thinking back to, insert whatever major recording artist in the praise and worship genre, whatever song you think of, think back to that now. And now we can start to add things again. Now we can start to add drums and bass and synthesizers and guitars and background vocals and everything. We can start to add all those things, and we can even start to incorporate some pre-recorded tracks at the very end, after our band is set and solid. Okay. So how do we start to add back those instruments? Let's say we start with the drums. So our lead singer is, and let's say for this example, our lead singer is also playing the lead instrument, the acoustic guitar, and it's just one person up there leading the song. And we want to add a drummer to that. What is the drummer going to lock into? The drummer is going to lock into the rhythm of that acoustic guitar strumming pattern. And they're going to play something that complements it. they're going to listen to what is the time signature and what is the beat in that time signature. How can I play with the beat in that time signature to emphasize the beat, but also to give some rhythmic contrast between the verses and between the choruses and between the bridge. That's what the drummer can start to do. The drummer can start to add rhythmic contrast to the sections of the song. So not only does the melody and the lyric tell you what, and tell everybody, it tells the congregation, what part of the song are we singing right now? Is it the verse, the chorus, or the bridge? Now the drummer is also telling everybody that. They're telling us this is the verse. And they're telling everyone now this is the chorus, now this is the bridge. Based on, what part of the kit are they using? Are they using the cymbals more? Are they using the snare more? Are they using the toms more? Are they thumping on the bass drum on a 4 on the floor, 4 count for the 4/4 time signature? Right? So there's a lot of complexity that just a drummer can add. But what are we probably going to add to a drummer? We're probably going to want to add some bass, some low end, because we're starting to think about the roles of the instruments. What are the roles that are being filled? So far, we've got the lead vocalist, we've got the lead instrument, and we've got the rhythm covered. And not much else. The acoustic guitar is fulfilling the harmony, and maybe there's a little bit of texture with the drums and the cymbals. Maybe there's some reverb on the lead vocalist, and maybe there's a little bit of bass in the bass drum and the toms. But there's not any sustained bass for sure. So that's why we start adding other instruments. We would add a bass guitar next, and the bass guitar is going to lock in with the bass drum and the snare and the toms, and it's going to listen for what are the rhythmic accents that the drummer is pulling out. Is he focusing on accenting the quarter note in the verse, or is he accenting the 8th note or 16th note, or is he doing a dotted rhythm pattern? The bass guitar player locks in with that, and he now adds bass and sustained bass to that rhythmic pattern. Cool. And now let's see, there's texture and harmony left. Those are the only 2 roles left. We've got the lead vocalist, we've got the lead instrument, we've got the bass and the rhythm, and the only thing that we're kind of missing a little bit is a little bit extra harmonic support or harmonic embellishment, or high-end frequencies, and maybe a little bit of texture. Maybe it just sounds a little bit bland or boring, with just an acoustic guitar and drums and bass and a vocalist. So you might add an electric guitar player. The electric guitar player is going to do a couple things. They're going to, again, they're going to lock in with the drum set and the acoustic guitar, and they're going to lock in with that rhythm that's happening there. But instead of the toms and the bass drum, maybe the electric guitar focuses more on the snare and the cymbals, maybe tambourine and the hi-hat. And the electric guitar listens for those cues in the drum set, and he listens for the strumming pattern of the acoustic guitar, and he comes up with a part that will fit in with those rhythmically, so there's no rhythmic confusion. But he's also adding some high notes. He's playing a lead melody line. Maybe he's playing a harmony of the lead vocal. Maybe there's maybe the electric guitar player is playing an arpeggio, and he's just arpeggiating a chord. Maybe he's just holding a single chord for the entire time, and he's got a whole bunch of reverb on. Okay, cool. Well, that kind of takes care of the harmonic and textural support elements, right? Now there's a lot more stuff going on in the high end, above where the singer is singing, above where the acoustic guitar is playing, certainly above where the bass and the drums are. And now the frequency range, the audible frequency spectrum, is being filled in a little bit more with high-end information. So there's that way to think about it too. And the more instruments you add, the more careful you have to be about where do you fit in? Where does that instrument fit in? What job is it going to do? What role is it going to fulfill? What is it going to do for this song so that this song sounds the best that we can make it sound in our church with our volunteer musicians, right? It's not about, and notice when we were building up the band there, notice I wasn't referencing a track. I wasn't referencing a pre-recorded version of this song. I wasn't trying to copy that at all. I'm working with what I have. I'm working with the people that I have, with their skills, and hopefully through the stuff you need to know and everything else that's on this channel. Hopefully you're growing your skills as a musician so that we have the capability to do this kind of thing, to build a song from the ground up and add all those extra things that make it music, that make it exciting, that make it emotional, that make it somber. Everything that music needs to be in church on Sunday mornings. We have to be good musicians, and we have to be conscious musicians. We have to know the difference between a song and a track. And we have to know that we're not going to copy that pre-recorded track that the artist did. We know that we have to work with what we have. And I would say 99.999% of the time, playing with pre-recorded tracks on a Sunday morning is a waste. But that's just me. I don't think that there's any... Well, there are good reasons to do it. And actually, I have included tracks in songs when I've been arranging for our band. But, most of the time, there's not really any good reason to have it there. Okay, we've kind of talked at length about this now. So I hope this is a lot more clear. What is a song? It's a vocal and a lyric. And what do you need for that song to come across on a Sunday morning? You need a lead instrument, and that's it. And everything else that you add after that is going to fit into your instrument roles. And you're going to think about, what role do I want to fill? And what instruments can I use? And do I have the volunteers to do that? Okay. Let's see. Was there anything else I was going to say about this? Well, we can talk about how tracks are bad, and I've kind of alluded to my my dislike for playing with live tracks, with tracks live being mixed in. But maybe that's another video for another time. Hopefully this was helpful. Thanks.